Most of the smartphones in Asia are coming out with local input languages. I think of the top 20 smartphones in India, only one is a foreign phone. They're all local hardware and everything. So, social media on mobiles. Didn't really exist on the early ones. Still doesn't exist on the cheap ones now. I met my young Sri Lankan student friends who have all got what I would define as low-end basic phones. They can't really still, there's no Facebook, there's no Twitter. Those phones are still, cannot be used. But those phones are $5. So that's what's used at the moment. They did not have app capabilities, or they had Java and weren't very interesting. Small screens, low-res graphics, WAP. I don't know if that ever made it to here, but that was like pre-internet. Smartphones are still the number one reason for the growth of social media. Apps, high-res, real internet. Tablets will enable the richer of sending back. It's a lot harder for me to type much, blog on the train, do much, create content on this. It's the exact same operating system on this. Mobile providers, I don't know if they're doing it here, but many countries I've seen, they are offering incentives for you to join their network. I will give you free Facebook or free this or free that. So normal internet, you pay for it. Will video ever be popular? I don't know. I'm not really sure. We've had video-to-video, handset-to-handset video for 10 years and no one cares. No one wants to look at each other. They're happy to broadcast out when they're, but rarely do they use it. Skype video is increasing the popularity. Changing networks, 4G, what's next? How fast do we actually need? I've been talking to a few people and some of the networks are getting quite fast. There's social media appliances coming. YouTube cameras, Flip, a bunch of different things that directly plug in that have 3G things in them, and they send their data straight to the world. It doesn't have to be live, it can be feature or later download. Cheaper smartphones will accelerate the demand in many of the Asian countries. If a cheap handset appeared, and I believe that it might have been Samsung or someone that's promising an Android for under $100, hundreds of millions across Asia will jump onto mobiles for their social media so fast. Those numbers early on, it could be 100 million. Look at India. It could be 200, 300, 400 million very quickly with those sort of things. All we need is the cheap phone. People don't want to spend $1,000 on an iPhone maximum level 4, iPhone 4. And are the telcos going to be ready? If that many people come on that quick, are all the networks going to crash? Handset subsidies could help. It's tried. In my country, it works because we have good court system. We have good credit rating tracking. If you don't pay your bill, you will get in trouble and you will not be able to get another one. So that's easy in Australia. So my fiancée, last week, she got the new BlackBerry Torch for nothing to sign up for another 2 years on the same provider. I've had the same phone number since 1990. So I'm actually 21 years with the same phone number on the same carrier. They do whatever I tell them when I call up. They look at, if they give me trouble or something like that, I call up and I go, look when my account started. And they go, yeah, I wasn't born then. Okay. And they're rather polite about it. So Android, because it's free, is assisting the take-up. Free to manufacturers, developers. Now I'm going to run through this one quickly. The psychology of social media. This is very important. We are desperate to communicate, always have been and always will be. We're social creatures by nature. Age, race, social demographics, doesn't matter. One-way media is changing. I'm going to skip the story about social influence TV. Advertisers are desperate to be relevant, but they're terrified of consumers are going to talk back. But all of you on social media, you've got something to say and you will be heard. And God help them if they ignore you. We are starting to tolerate deception by advertising much less. Tell me the truth. I found a blog in Sri Lanka here that was talking about Etisalat, the local carrier, and it was very, very, very critical. Social activism. Online tsunami can mean an offline response. Egypt, etc., etc. More and more about the mind and less about the physical. We're removing the classical barriers of beauty, age, fashion, sex, which is why online dating is so popular. Is it popular in Sri Lanka? It's here, though. Yeah, it's here. It's very popular in my countries. The millennials, which are people born after 1999, they're 11 or 12 years old now. They live and breathe this, and they're now, at 11 or 12, getting their first smartphone. In my countries, they definitely are. US, definitely. In the US, you can go and get a teddy bear with a phone in it that if they push the stomach, it will call their mother. That's interesting. So if they don't like something at preschool or things like that, push the thing. Yes, dear, so-and-so is not doing, has taken my toy. What? I don't care. I've got to go to a meeting, But these are the things that you can already do this. It's becoming less about the brands and more about you. Now, the future. Smaller, cheaper netbooks, smartphones, tablet revolution, combo devices. I think it's the Sony Ericsson of just bringing out the PlayStation phone. That's crazy. Almost not crazy. It's completely logical. But now you've got your little portable PlayStation with your social media and your phone. How do you make them look at the phone even more rather than just being in their pocket? You give them games to play. What is a smartphone? We know what it looks like now, but what will it look like in the future? I've seen iPods, the new little tiny iPod that you can get a wristband for and put it there, which has got lots of things in it. Consumers are going to dominate. The importance of advertising will fade. That my friends like it will be enough for me. If you sell something and aren't on social media, then you won't survive. Like a business that's not on the web. In the West especially. This is something else that I'm seeing that we're coming. Social media will become a war of retailers and consumers, and against consumers to consumers. You suck. No, I don't. Yes, you do. The main chef was sick that day. That's not my fault. You'll be able to have an online argument with your restaurant down the road. That's completely bizarre. And restaurants are going to have to figure out what to do, and all outlets. This is where a new role for small business is starting to come. Reputation managers. Social medias will separate from online marketing. How long till we have a CSO? At the moment, I can go and pay someone $5,000 and they will go across the whole internet and find everything about me and get it fixed. And you can do that for your business too. So these are reputation. People will go and manipulate the search engines. Sort of a very advanced version of these SEO people, search engine optimization. Social incentives, bribery will explode. Foursquare, come here, check in at this KFC 3 times and I will give you a large Coke. Languages will change even more rapidly, not just English. Social media will create a richer, tailored offline experience. There's a new Facebook group app, something that's starting in Sydney at the moment, where you join it, you list all the kind of food you like, and then you will get an SMS or a message on your social media saying, in your area, up the road, there will be a Japanese meal at 7 p.m. in 2 hours' time. And you go, great. And you go up there, and it's a bunch of other people that this application has assembled for you. So it's creating and bringing people together based on, it's not dating, but but it's similar functionality of how they match people. It's just social, meeting new people. Social media specific devices, Facebook phone, they were talking about it, Twitter pager, etc. Now, I hope you'll understand this. And this is one of the issues that I've got about social media. It's called the infinite monkey theorem, which states that 1 million monkeys hitting keys on random on a typewriter for an infinite period will eventually produce the works of Shakespeare. It's actually mathematical. The internet's proven it wrong. There is billions of people on social media and it's still crap. You know, and there is nothing good coming out of this. It's a lot of noise. Social media is proving this every day. You know, the amount of people talking about nothing, and we've heard it in other presentations. Oh, look, I'm going to use extra salt on this meal. Thank you for that. This enriches my life. How? You know, Facebook has even started to change. There was a controversy a couple of months ago because they're changing all the status updates you get from your friends. They're starting to list ones that are only that you interact with, that you send messages back forwards, that you hit like, you talk to. Because what they're assuming is if this person is your friend and you've not interacted with them in some way in 6 months, then you don't really care. So they're starting to take those things away. They're deciding for you. And this is an example of the way you can talk to me in the world. How many of us are like this? Probably quite a few. You know, web, cell phones, Facebook, Skypes, LinkedIn's, Foursquares, Twitters, blogs. There's my BlackBerry Messenger if you want to message me there. You know, and there's so many ways. Okay, I've now taken 36 minutes.